turned 30 today and realised I've been living everyone else's expectations. Today's my 30th birthday, and instead of celebrating, I'm having an existential crisis. Looking at my life, almost none of it reflects what I actually wanted. So I was cleaning out some old boxes. I found journals from college about wanting to travel, teach abroad, write a novel, learn photography. Except instead, I took the safe path at every turn and feel like I'm living someone else's life. So, first of all, for reference, I'm 22, this guy's in his 30s. I obviously can't relate to the fact that he's obviously all the way over there. What I can relate to is the feeling that you're living someone else's life. And this whole idea of living to other people's expectations is a really big thing. And I think I found that I didn't realize that I was actually doing it at the time, and maybe you don't either. So the idea of it is, I feel like sometimes, I know for me, I would make decisions because it felt like it was the right thing to do, right? You should go and do this, you should go and do that. I mean, typically, for example, the first thing for me was going to university, right? It was like, look, if you don't know, if you don't know what to do, if there's something, perhaps a subject perhaps of interest, just go into university, right? Don't think anything of it. And what I ended up doing, I ended up going into university. And then I ended up quitting halfway through the first year to then pursue entrepreneurship, which I then did for the next 3 years until I then basically went and quit that business, or pretty much just shut down that business entirely, got rid of all my clients. Why? Because I hated it, right? I came to hate it, and I pretty much got into it because it's something that other people online told me I should do, and that's that. Now, do I regret it? No. But the point being is that I was almost like it did feel like I was living someone else's life. I didn't feel like I was living the life I wanted to live, and that was a huge problem. Now, the other thing as well that obviously this guy is saying, feeling like he took the safe path, and just his general life as a whole wasn't living the stuff that he wanted to do. Now, obviously here he sort of mentioned, wanting to travel, teach abroad, write a novel, and obviously, that's going to pop up, having not done it, as regret. And the thing with regret, and obviously I can only speak from this from being 22, right? I can't speak from this from being 30, is that there is no real use of just having or dwelling on the things that you didn't do, or, things you didn't achieve. Because, yeah, sure, don't get me wrong, you shouldn't necessarily ignore them, but you shouldn't constantly come back and dwell on that. And I know now I've just been slowly taking action on things that are meaningful to me. So this being pretty much recording a video every single day, or at least getting a video out every single day for, I think, the past 2, maybe near 3 months now, right? And that's just been a small thing I've been doing. I think it takes me maybe 30 to 40 minutes a day, but I just keep consistent with that. Why? Because I want to do this, right? There's a big difference, because the business I had before, it always felt like I had to do stuff, or I needed to do things. With this, I want to do it. I can quit it whenever I want to, but I want to do it. I want to build in it because it's meaningful to me. The same with the sort of game development that I'm doing with AI. Like, this is the stuff I want to do. And I mean, I spend hours and hours every single day. I mean, I spend probably, I don't know, roughly so far the last 2 weeks, I spent about 35 hours each just doing game development. And that's been really meaningful to me. And I put a lot of time into that. But the point being is that I feel like I'm living my life. Right? I feel like I'm actually headed in the right direction for myself. So what I'll really say for this video is, no matter how old you are, but I'm mainly speaking to people obviously around my age, is the idea that, look, if you feel like you're living someone else's life, or if you feel that at the moment, perhaps, you're just living to other people's expectations, then I guess really it's just the question of asking, well, what do you want to do, right? And sometimes it can be quite difficult to actually go your own way and do your own thing without, getting a load of backlash from perhaps friends and family. The point being is, you just need to be confident in what you're doing, right? And I've had a few people, a few friends and family that have told me that, the sort of route that I'm going, for example, with game development, is like very risky. Very few people actually find success with it, and so on and so forth. And I just think, cool, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway. And that's what really matters, because At the end of the day, right, it's your life, right? And people can make a fuss about things or have an opinion on things, but they're going to pretty much forget about, your life and stuff, very, very quickly. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I pretty much say. And just build small commitments to stuff, right? I mean, I think what's helped me the most is when I didn't really know what to do. First of all, I tried to figure out what sort of interest I might have, and then just slowly build towards it. Because I think that's the sort of stuff that's gonna, give it enough time, is gonna allow you to build more consistency and turn up more to things that are meaningful to you. But let me know what your experiences is. Because I can really relate to this whole idea of living to other people's expectations. I think part of it can come down to fear, right? Right, the fear of, oh, well, what if I let people down? And I know that that's a really big thing of the guy. But at the same time, it's like I'd rather be living my own life and perhaps letting a few people down the short term than live someone else's life and, like this person says, play it safe. Because if I found that in the next, for example, 10 years for myself, I realized that I've been playing it safe, I would know that I would be the reason for it. So let me know what you think, and I'll chat soon.